Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I have a little update vlog type of video for you guys today because I have been working on a bunch of stuff that I am really excited to tell you guys about, and I've been filming random things here and there, but I haven't really talked to you about what I've been working on or shown you what I've been working on, so I thought it would be nice to maybe film a little update video and tell you guys some exciting things that are going to be happening soon and give you guys a little sneak peek, I guess. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is how I am prepping for a new Etsy restock, and this might be my biggest Etsy drop I've ever done. I have a lot of new things coming. I have a lot of really exciting things happening, some changes, some new products, some new designs. I am just so excited for you guys to see what I've been working on, and I can't wait. I really hope that you guys like what I've been doing. But I have been working on some new author portraits because, of course, I'm going to be bringing back old author portraits, but I wanted to make some new ones as well because my never-ending list of authors that you guys want is something that I always work off of. So I want to show you guys the new authors that I have drawn recently. The first one I might have shown you already, but that is James Baldwin, which I am just so happy with how he turned out. Sorry, there's a glare on it, but you could sort of see. And then the next one that I drew is Maya Angelou, which I have to talk to you guys about the book that I'm currently reading. It is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I am absolutely adoring it, but anyway, I will get into that a little bit later. And then I'm going to start drawing Marcel Proust, which I just have his first layer down. You can barely see it. But that's just my very rough sketch of Marcel Proust that I want to start working on probably a little bit today. But I do want to ask you guys if there is any authors that I haven't done yet that you want me to do. I always link my website and portfolio in my description, and there, if you go to the portraits section, you can see every single author portrait that I have ever done. So if you are looking for a specific author, if you don't know if I did a specific author or not, you can see on there. So if there is an author that I haven't done that is not on my website that you would like me to do, and maybe I don't have them on my list, I do have an ongoing list, but I would love to know what authors that you would like me to do in the future, even characters. I would love to make another section for characters that are on the page. I did do one of Johnny Flynn as Mr. Knightley from the 2020 Emma, but I would love to do some more character portraits. So yes, I've just been working a lot on my author portraits, thinking about what I want to do for my Etsy shop, making new designs. I'm just really excited, and I can't wait for you to see everything that I've been doing. So I did film part of my process drawing James Baldwin and Maya Angelou, so I thought that I would put that in the vlog so you guys can watch my process. I always love showing you the process of drawing, and I am trying to figure out a better way for me to film myself drawing because I would love to make that more of a part of my channel where I make maybe dedicated art videos, but my setup right now just is not that great. I don't have really good lighting. I don't have a good tripod with like the proper angle. I always kind of mess around with my angles whenever I draw now, and it's just not the best workflow for me. So yes, I am looking into different tripods and lighting and everything so that I can make art more of a part of my channel and show you guys a little bit more of my art process and being a freelance illustrator and things like that. So yes, but I did film my process of drawing these, so I thought I would put that in, and I hope you guys enjoy. So here is me drawing James Baldwin and Maya Angelou. So I thought it would be nice to talk about I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings while I draw my Maya Angelou portrait and you guys watch it come to life. So one of my favorite things to do when drawing is listen to audiobooks, and whenever I draw an author portrait, I specifically love listening to a book by that specific author that I'm drawing, and so I started I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings when I started this drawing of Maya Angelou, and I am so glad that I did so because it really made the drawing process so special, and because she narrates the audiobook herself, it really felt like she was just telling me her story as if she was sitting there with me and I wasn't drawing her from a photograph, but I was drawing her from life. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is Maya Angelou's beautifully told autobiography about childhood, bigotry, longing, perseverance, and growing up as a person of color in a small southern town. And the way she explores identity I found incredibly moving and has truly touched my heart. Just the way that she talks about her adolescence, her relationship, especially with her brother, I found so heartwarming, and the way that she talks about her relationship with her grandmother as well, and her uncles, and just hearing about her life and her story is just so powerful, and I knew that I was going to enjoy it because I heard so many amazing things about I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but I didn't expect for it to touch me in the way that it has, and I'm not even finished with it, and it is already becoming one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year, although I haven't read too many books so far this year. And the way that she narrates the audiobook, her voice is so sonorous and soothing and just beautiful, and it really added such an incredibly special quality to the story itself, because when you have someone's autobiography, of course it's different when you actually hear them tell their own story, and this is just such a powerful story about growing up, coming of age, and just being a young girl and what she went through just being a woman. And like I said, I'm not finished with it yet, but I am adoring it, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend you give it a read. Of course, I can't recommend the audiobook enough. I think it is truly one of my favorite audiobooks I've ever listened to, and it's just an incredibly impactful story that I think everyone should read at least sometime in their life. I hope that you enjoyed listening to me talk a little bit about it and watch my author portrait of Maya come to life. It was, again, just such a wonderful drawing process and reading process, and it's so great that I get to combine my love for literature and storytelling with my love of creating art, and I really feel like my favorite part about these author portraits is being able to honor the authors that I love so much and that have impacted me so much. So I hope that you have enjoyed and that you like how the author portrait turned out. I am really, really pleased with it, and I can't wait for you guys to have the option to purchase it in my Etsy restock, which will be happening soon. I'm so excited. And yes, so I hope that you enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching my process of me drawing James Baldwin and Maya Angelou and then putting them on the page in Photoshop. Something that I don't think I've ever shared with you guys is that before I started my YouTube channel, I would always film myself doing my artwork, and I would post it on my personal Instagram, and I did have an art Instagram with no followers at all when I was trying to build my art Instagram, and then it turned into a book Instagram, and now it's kind of an art and book Instagram, which I love so much. And anyway, so I have always loved filming myself creating art, and I really want to do that more, so I hope that that's something that you would be interested in seeing from me. I also have 2 Etsy orders that I just saw in my Etsy shop that I need to wrap and ship out today, so thank you so much, Elizabeth and Amber, for your orders. It means so much to me that you guys are still ordering from my shop even after I have a restock and a lot of my things sell out. I do still have my book cover prints on there, and also my Harry Styles portrait portrait, which there are only a few left, and I don't think I'm going to be bringing that portrait back just because I want to prioritize some of my other work. So if you are a Harry Styles fan, there are only a few left if you want to grab one. I never think about my artwork as like limited edition, but if I don't bring the Harry Styles portrait back, then technically it is limited edition. So if you would like a limited edition Carolyn Marie reads Harry Styles portrait, then a few of them are still available. But yes, I always try to bring my artwork back so that the people that haven't gotten, that might have wanted to get one, then you are able to. So yes, I did ask you on my Instagram recently of the authors that you would like me to bring back, and I did write them all down. I tallied them all up of the ones that people asked for most and least, so I'm going to be bringing back the ones that the most people have asked for, just to make sure that you guys get the author portraits that you want, of course. And then I want to tell you guys about the amazing book that I'm currently reading, which is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. I have been really enjoying this book so much. I am, how many pages in? I am 159 pages in, and this is a fantastic coming-of-age story, really exploring the dynamics between different relationships in our main character Toru's life at university when he's about late teens, early 20s, and this is him reflecting on that time in his life as when he's older. And the relationships in this book are just so fascinating to follow, and I don't want to say too much because right now I'm in the middle of the story and I don't want to give anything away. There was one scene that I wanted to read out to you guys. I read it last night and I thought, oh, I really want to include this in a vlog just to share it with everyone. And something that I love about this book is that Toru, our main character, loves reading just in general, but he also loves The Great Gatsby, and The Great Gatsby is one of my favorite books. And there was this one beautiful scene that he kind of references The Great Gatsby, and I just love how it's this beautiful description that eventually references The Great Gatsby. It is on page 149 of this edition, which this is the UK edition, which I love the design of so much. And this is chapter 6. So it says, "Where the road sloped upwards beyond the trees, I sat and looked towards the building where Naoku lived. It was easy to tell her room. All I had to do was find the one window towards the back where a faint light trembled. I focused on that point of light for a long time. It made me think of something like the final pulse of a soul's dying ember. I wanted to cut my hands over what was left and keep it alive. I went on watching it the way Jay Gatsby watched that tiny light on the opposite shore, night after night." Is that not so beautiful? The way that that description turns into the reference to The Great Gatsby and Gatsby watching the green light across the shore at Daisy's house on Daisy's dock, and it's just so beautiful. So the writing in this is so stunning. It's so fluid and natural and easy to read, and I've just been loving it so much. In one of my recent videos, I talked about how I'm having a really hard time trying to understand Toru. I feel like he's a very complex character, and he's very interesting to follow and to read from because he is our first-person narrator, and how I said that I feel like it's a purposeful wall that Murakami put between us and Toru. Even though we're in his perspective, it almost feels like there's a veil between us that you can't really penetrate into his mind too much, even though we are in his mind because of the point of view, which I think is really powerful storytelling, and it's a fantastic way to take on a character without giving you full permission to enter into their brain. I just think it's a really interesting way to write, and I'm loving it a lot, so very happy to be reading this book. And then the other book that I have been reading, of course, is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which I talked to you guys about while I drew my Maya Angelou portrait. I thought it'd be fun to just do a little voiceover instead of just music because I think it makes it a bit more interesting. I don't know, you guys can tell me if you like voiceovers or music when I draw, so let me know, I would be interested. So yes, been loving I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, loving the audiobook, can't recommend it enough. And then the other book that I need to start reading is Once There Was a War by John Steinbeck, because this is the February book club pick for Game of Tomes, and then we're going to be having our first live show at the end of this month discussing A Farewell to Arms and Once There Was a War, and I am so excited. I know really nothing about this book. I've never read it, of course, because A Farewell to Arms was a reread for me, but I've never read this book, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm expecting to enjoy it because from what I've seen with you guys reading it and updating us on Instagram and in my comments, you guys are really enjoying it so far. So very excited to read this and start it and film a little vlog of it as well. So that is what I've been reading. I did also recently reorganize my books. In one of my recent videos as well, I did donate a bunch of my books to my library because my books were just overflowing to the max, and I am one of those silly readers where I have about 1 million copies of the same book. And do I need 1 million copies of the same book? No, I really don't. So I was going through all of my books, trying to figure out which ones I really wanted to keep and which ones I don't want to keep. Just trying to organize my life a little bit because I'm working on my Etsy stuff and reading and doing videos and creating artwork and writing. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've been writing. So right now I am working on plotting out my novel. If you guys don't know, I am writing a novel currently, a short novel. It's meant to be a middle grade novel, but it's really a novel that I hope anyone of any age can read, and it's going to be illustrated, and I'm so excited. It is really truly my passion project right now. It is bringing me so much joy to work on, and so yes, I am working on plotting it out, working on my plot structure, working on the first chapters because I really want to have a very strong foundation. I have been rewriting my first 4 chapters about 1 billion times, just trying to get the words right, trying to understand my narrative voice, and I have been watching a lot of Brandon Sanderson's lectures on YouTube, which they're meant for science fiction and fantasy writers, but I really think that the way that he talks about writing and the writing process in general can really be so beneficial and helpful for people that aren't just writing sci-fi fantasy. I think it's perfect for any writer. If you are interested in writing, I can't recommend watching Brandon Sanderson's video series enough. Something that he talked about that I never really thought about before, or I guess I just didn't bring a ton of attention to, because I did take a lot of writing classes in university. I did go for a major in illustration and a minor in writing, so I took a lot of writing courses, and something that I don't think any of my professors ever really spoke about was a tone promise. So Brandon Sanderson talks about promises, progress, and payoff. What he was talking about with promises is that in the beginning you are setting a tone promise. So you really have to create and capture the tone of your novel that will be the tone throughout the story. It establishes the tone from the very beginning. So you are promising the type of story that you are going to tell through the tone of voice and story that you are setting in the beginning. And that's something that I never really thought about and I thought was really interesting. So I'm glad that I'm doing this research in the beginning process of my writing because I'm able to go back and tweak things and make sure that I have a tone promise, make sure that I have, you know, the different promises that Brandon Sanderson brings up. I could go into a lot of detail, but maybe I'll save that for a dedicated writing vlog. Why was that sentence so hard to say? I feel like I just paused a bunch of times. Anyway, but like I just said, I would love to make some dedicated writing vlogs, so if that's something that you're interested in as well, I would really love to do that, so let me know if that's something that you would like from me, to talk a little bit more about my writing process and the process of creating this book, I guess. I can't tell you too much about it, but I can talk about different aspects of the story like tone promises and plot structures and things like that that I've been working on, if you are also an aspiring writer or just interested in writing in general. So yes, I believe that's all that I wanted to share with you guys today in this vlog, just to give you guys a little update, tell you the exciting things that are coming to my Etsy shop, so definitely look out for that, and the new author portraits. Let me know what new authors you would like me to do, if there are characters that you would like me to do. Tell me what you're reading. I would love to know what you're reading and what you've been doing. I would just love to hear from you guys. So yes, I hope that you enjoyed this little catch-up update video, and I will see you soon in another video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and happy reading!